Good afternoon. I belong to the field of human resource management. So my presentation attempts to describe why organizational management is important in achieving sustainability targets. Micro teams, small agile teams, are fundamental in the transition toward climate-smart communities. Without micro-level insights, climate resiliency and sustainability targets are difficult to achieve. The three main premises of my presentation are as follows. First, building micro-teams is a social innovation strategy. Second, the dynamic capabilities of team members or their micro-foundations are reproducible. Finally, transdisciplinarity and systems thinking are good starting points for local action. The highly centralized management functions we know today need to be reframed under volatile, unpredictable, complex, and ambiguous or VUCA conditions. Present-day organizations now need to adapt and respond quickly, collaborate extensively, and learn continuously. So, from the viewpoint of organizational structures, we need small, agile teams that can expand their networks and foster feedback. So imagine 4 individuals from different organizations advocating climate resilience, particularly Target 13.1 of the UN SDGs. So initially, micro teams focus on their sphere of influence, and they work closely with experts in their own field. So in the context of climate resilience, this micro team will likely aim for flexibility, experimentation, rapid response, interoperability, and continuous learning. So small, nimble teams are usually at the forefront of local sustainability actions. Their agility allows them to adapt quickly to emerging challenges. Each team member naturally engages with experts from diverse backgrounds. Academics, the private sector, policymakers, and community stakeholders, they come together to share insights and perspectives. So, by bridging disciplines, micro teams are able to break down silos that often hinder progress. Thus, micro teams also create fertile grounds for innovative solutions. The image here shows how networks can expand from a central microteam. This is the principle of emergence in systems design thinking. So, along with expanding networks, feedback loops are also essential. Whether it is about rising sea levels, extreme weather events, or biodiversity loss, microteams can gain insights into a looming VUCA scenario. From these feedback loops, microteams may gather real-time data and future scenarios may emerge. So, to recap, organizational strategies centered on microteams help to create social systems that can withstand shocks or can recover rapidly to VUCA scenarios. Now we go to the next part. What are microfoundations? Some of you may know these as skills, capacities, processes, or even competencies. The descriptors shown on the slide highlight the transdisciplinarity and systems thinking undertones of dynamic capabilities. The important point here is that individual skills and team interactions and network responsiveness are amplified by microfoundations. The dynamism of microfoundations usually depend on the probability that a VUCA event might occur. This probability implies not only looking at the past and present trends, but also future challenges. So in the next slides, I will share 10 capabilities, starting with the two here, of microteams but reframed from a sustainability perspective. So, ecocentrism refers to the intrinsic value of nature and ecosystems. It recognizes that humans are interconnected with the natural environment and that our well-being depends on a healthy planet. By contrast, anthropocentrism focuses on human interests. It views nature primarily as a resource to serve human needs and desires. So, in dynamic or VUCA environments, the issue about limited resources become very apparent. Resource constraints explain why ecocentrism and anthropocentrism have very deep contradictions. Synergies and trade-offs must be simultaneously evaluated from many dimensions, such as ecological, economic, social, cultural, political, regulatory, and technological aspects. So now, trade-offs, synergies, and long-term impact, all of them underscore the importance of precautionary decision-making. Precautionary principles, or the idea that certain actions have long-term positive or negative impacts on all species on Earth, usually rely on risk assessments, scenario planning, and even ethical considerations. So precautionary decision-making is important because microteams may fall trapped into simplistic or maladaptive actions. The next four dynamic capabilities are related to quantitative, qualitative, and mixed research methodologies guided by transdisciplinarity. Here, we borrow knowledge management ideas. So I arranged the four capabilities into a you know and you don't know matrix for easy recall. At the upper left, the microteam knows that they know the value of an information. This knowledge management strategy is called knowledge codification, or the process of structuring intangible knowledge into explicit forms such as process documents, manuals, and databases. Codified knowledge facilitates learning, innovation, and speedy decision-making. At the upper right, we have you know that you don't know the value of an information. Knowledge acquisition is knowledge gained from external sources, such as through research and partnerships. So microteams continuously acquire knowledge to better adapt to rapidly changing contexts. At the lower right, we have you don't know that you don't know the value of an information. In the realm of VUCA, knowledge creation is often associated with experimentation and mathematical modeling or simulations. Innovation and adaptation thrive when a culture of knowledge creation and creativity is fostered by the organization. So finally, at the lower left, we have you don't know that you know the value of an information. Knowledge recovery is about reactivating dormant or forgotten knowledge, such as cultural heritage among the youth. So recovering valuable insights from the past helps us unearth long-time notions of resilience and agility. The two lower blocks represent both the past and the future of a research content, which are often forgotten in scholarly work, but are necessary in transdisciplinarity. So these four capabilities jointly promote informed decision-making. The last four dynamic capabilities are project management concepts. So when we conceptualize and design projects or programs, we often think of outcomes on a time scale from here to the future. So the two important reminders here are, first, baseline data that serve as the basis for projects must center on science-informed and community-validated data. Second, for the long-term impact, we should include the intergenerational goals. That is, looking far ahead into the future of humanity and of other species that will likely outlive us, say 100 years from now. So this brings us back to the importance of precautionary decision making I mentioned earlier. A challenge we often encounter to jumpstart local action is, where do we start? Or even more practical, what should micro teams talk about in their first ever meeting? My answer would be to pursue a critical analysis of the 10 dynamic capabilities of the micro team and the 3 linked goals of precautionary decision making, informed decision making, and action planning. So from a human resource or organizational management perspective, you may likely be thinking of key performance indicators. So I share here again target 13.1, focusing on the micro team as a social innovation strategy. What information about the micro team and its network will likely be placed under each block given your particular context? So for blocks that you don't know the answer yet, I'm pretty sure that you have a strong sense of what to search for next. So this simple tool, a type of knowledge codification tool, could be a starting point of accelerated local action. Giving a full picture can help avoid hits and misses or maladaptive planning. To recap my entire presentation, first, VUCA environments justify the need for microteams and their microfoundations. Second, dynamic capabilities must be learned and they are also reproducible. Finally, critical analysis of scientific and community-based data represent the heart of transdisciplinarity and systems thinking and, ultimately, accelerated local action. These are my references and this ends my presentation. Thank you very much.